it's a feeling like I'm going to lose someone very valuable to me, and not just one person. I'm going to lose the whole family.
In 1990, at the age of 2, Mohammad Farid Jalil, his father, brother, and pregnant mother fled Afghanistan to India. For the last 30 years, the family has lived in Delhi.
I have very foggy memory of Afghanistan. Just remember walking on the snow with my dad holding my hand, and just remember some small tiny details of the house I was born in. And India, I think I only remember the first time when I went to school and how I made friends, and I still remember their names: Rajesh, Gajendra, Pankaj. There was a guy called Chiku, and I had lots of Afghan friends as well over there. And that's how, we started changing schools as well, then made new friends. And so basically you can say India has ever since became a second home to me. Just that I don't have the documents as of now. I'm not a citizen yet.
While Farid now works, has friends, plays football, and has built an entire life for himself in India, he still struggles with the idea of home.
I'm a refugee. I'm sorry, but it's not a great feeling. Being a refugee is like a burden. You don't want to be a burden on anyone. You don't want anyone to feel to pity you. You don't want anyone to have sympathy for you for no good reason, just because you're a refugee. You want to feel independent. You want to feel appreciated. You get all that. You feel independent, but at the end of the day, you're just a refugee. I mean, I've seen my colleagues who have worked with me, who started their career with me, who are all my classmates or college mates. They're doing well now. They have their office, or at least they're working somewhere. They have a good salary coming in. They have something. That's because they belong to this place. Whereas I don't. I have to go through this. I have to extend my visa every year. Every 3 years, I have to go and renew my refugee card and go through the same process all over again. Refugee नाम सुनते ही आप अलग से, why do you have to? एक tone में there's a change. The way they look at you, there's a change in that, and that's what bothers me. The worst part is nobody's there to help you out. Not even the UN office, the one who's granted the refugee status. For the past 30 years, they have not done anything. It's been almost a year now that I've lost my father, and he used to write emails, letters to the UN office to help us out to get resettled in a third country or any other country which is better, which at least some place where we don't have to go with the status anymore. But there's nothing they have done, and there's nothing we can do. For me, if I have a choice, I would love to stay in India, but I can't.
At the moment, one of his brothers, who worked in the Afghan government up until the Taliban takeover, is stuck in Kabul with his family. They want to leave, but they can't seem to find a way out. Farid spends most of his day speaking to his brother, tries to find a way to evacuate them, and spends time consoling his mother.
So 15th of August, Taliban took over, and I had friends who had their flights for 16th of August, and they couldn't come because a lot of people stayed back home. So did my brothers, and they wanted to, but then they realized it's of no use because you have no visa, and my nephews, they also don't have the passport yet because they're still very young. Like my nephew is 6 months old. How would he have a passport? How would he have any documents? Threat is higher for my brother because he's a government employee. Although Taliban are saying we have granted amnesty, we have forgiven everyone who used to work colluded with the government or the US troops or foreign troops against the Taliban. Right now, Taliban is saying all these things because they know very well that the whole world is watching them right now. They're just waiting for the attention, for the cameras, for the world watching them to shift their attention a little somewhere else. Then we'll know what will happen. And by that time, whatever they will do, I'm pretty sure nobody will even ask why. It's like we know that we cannot help, they cannot help. They're just trying to look for themselves, and we are trying to do as much as we can from our end. Not that we can anything, but we are trying. whoever we can get a hold of or whoever we know can do a slightest bit of help, we're just looking for it. After age of 16, I started supporting my family. And by the time I was 20, 21, my brothers left for Afghanistan. They were residing here with us. They were here for 20 years. And they realized there is no scope here. There is no future. Because not until unless you can become a citizen here, that means you have a stability. You can settle down. You can think about getting a house. They knew that going back to your country is a lot better than staying here where you know there is no future. But in Afghanistan, you have one. I mean, it's because it is your country. But looking at the current situation, they're very disappointed because I think the last one I spoke to him, we both got a little emotional. He said, 20 years of trying to build my life here. Not just me, my neighbors, all the other friends that I know. And look at what it got us. Now everybody is just waiting for a way or an option or anything to just escape as soon as they can. It's a feeling like I'm going to lose someone very valuable to me, and not just one person. I'm going to lose the whole family. I mean, you would understand how would you feel. I mean, when my father passed away, it completely, finished me basically. I felt like there's no meaning to life anymore now. But that is like grieving, you understand that. But now it's like your brothers. I mean, when my father died because of a heart attack, I wasn't able to do anything. There was this self-critical analysis, you can say, self-criticism to myself that I wasn't a good son to him because I couldn't save him. But now I feel like I'm not a good brother.
Up until now, Farid has worked as a professional filmmaker. But as Afghanistan fell to the Taliban and his helplessness around his brother's situation grew, for the first time, Farid decided to pick up his camera and document the plight of the people of his community in India. At the UNHCR protest where we met him, he tells us what changed his mind and why he now feels the need to record this act of rage and pain from the Afghan community in India.
Deep down, I had this feeling that 30 सालों में मैं अपने देश के लिए कुछ नहीं कर पाया. And I think covering this protest, and I'm really proud of my fellow Afghans who are standing here against the UNHCR office and asking them to step up and do something, I mean, do their jobs basically. I'm very proud of them. And this is one way of me, not my country, but my fellow citizens. I'm just trying to reach out to them so that I can spread their message as much as I can. UN office, they're laid back. Honestly, इनका legal system क्या है ठीक से बताते नहीं हैं. First of all, they take 2 years to give an appointment for a refugee interview, just to consider it. Interview होने के 7-8 महीने तक they wait, they make the person wait कि आपको refugee status मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा. तब तक आपको जैसे रहना है आप रहो. We will not provide you any financial support. We will not provide you any jobs. We will not help you in any way. You have to fend for yourself. Refugee status भी आपको मिल गया तो कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला उसमें आपको. We feel betrayed, to be very honestly. That's what I'm trying to say. We feel betrayed because not any one country stood up for us. I mean, we wanted the world to stand for us. We wanted them to at least object to what is happening and take a step. We need it right now. Like we desperately need it right now, and unfortunately, they're not doing it. Taliban is not somebody to be trusted. आप न्यूज़ देख रहे हो लोग कैसे हाहाकार मचा रखी है एयरपोर्ट पे. लोगों ने कैसी हालत बना रखी है क्योंकि वो खौफ है, वो डर है. That is the real face of Taliban. 20-25 साल पहले लोगों ने ये सब देखा है. दोबारा कौन जाना चाहेगा उस चीज़ से? अफगानिस्तान में राइट नाउ नोबडी कैन गो बैक. कोई जा भी नहीं सकता. जो एक जाने का ऑप्शन नहीं, मतलब मिल भी जाए, पैसे भी दो, कोई नहीं जाना चाहेगा क्योंकि अब पैसे की भी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है वहाँ पे.
We as a small team at Newslaundry have been doing our best to bring you factual ground reports and podcasts and interviews to give you the best information possible at this point. It's more important than ever that you support us and that you help us fight the good fight.